now go on to our first speaker, Dr. Jagdish Rana, who's the director of Parth Eye Hospital, Ahmedabad, a very popular person from Gujarat, to take on his talk. And he's going to be showcasing his video with the Pearl. And we also need to congratulate him. He's actually the captain of a cricket team. He's been playing his game and he's been very sporting to come and give his talk now. So on to you, Dr. Jagdish.
Yeah, thank you very much, madam.
Yes.
Good afternoon to everyone. So, can you play from video there?
Anand, can you play his video?
Hi, Jagdish.
Hi, sir. How are you, sir?
How was the match?
So, my presentation is on management of armored cataract. That is what you call as a cataract with a posterior synechia. A small funny video. Just like this funny video, we have to think out of the box when we are dealing with armored cataract. There is a case one, annular posterior synechia. So when we tried to take this case, it was appearing very difficult case. We started with a intracameral anesthetic agent, then doing a posterior synechectomy with a iris repositor. Then after that also the pupil was not dilating that much, so we applied a pupillary expander. Then after applying a pupillary expander, it becomes a routine surgery, doing a complete CCC as big as possible. Then after that, the key point is doing a multi-quadrant hydrodissection. So in my all surgeries, I am doing a multi-quadrant hydrodissection. So that avoid the step of a nuclear rotation, checking whether nucleus is freed from the cortical material or not. Now routine doing a sculpting. The main point is in these type of cases, we have to check whether the inflammation is not there or not before the surgery. We have to wait for at least 2 to 3 months before the eye gets quiet in such type of a surgery. So in this type of cataract, my double tooth phaco chopper is very much beneficial. So after doing a cataract removal, visco removal is a very important step because leaving a visco will lead to a post-operative inflammation as well as a rise of the IOP. So I am removing the visco from the behind the IOL also and very meticulously. So it's the end point of a surgery. This is case 2. Again with a posterior synechia, we have to think out of the box. Here, because the pupil is enough dilated, so I'm not applying pupillary expander to avoid a trauma to the already inflamed iris sphincter. So we have to learn the small pupillary phaco, or we have to be expert to do such type of surgery. So I'm doing a multi-quadrant hydrodissection again. So that will prevent avoid a step of a nuclear rotation to check whether nucleus is freed or not. Then I am using my patented double tooth phaco chopper. So this is a very important step. We have to free the nucleus from all around by hydrodissection. This is my double tooth phaco chopper doing a routine technique. It's called what we call as a lateral separation, holding the nucleus and just doing a lateral separation. No extra force is applied. So cataract pieces are getting separated as if they are already separated and lying side by side. So double tooth phaco chopper avoids the stress on the zonules, and it also helps to hold the eyeball and also acts as a eyeball fixator. Say we are saying here because of a nasty movement of the eyeball in this case. Just after nuclear rotation, I'm holding the eyeball with my phaco chopper. So one by one removing all nuclear species. So trying to clean as far as all the contact material is possible. So pupil is getting dilated, what was appearing before, because I have injected lignocaine in a DSS bottle. So now the in the bag IOL implantation is very much important in such type of cases, because out of the bag IOL will lead to a post-operative inflammation. Again, I am removing all viscous material from behind the IOL. It will prevent post-operative spike in IOP as well as the inflammation. And this is the end result of the surgery. So, thank you very much.
Wonderful surgery with lot of tips, Dr. Jagdish. In pertaining to this case, would you have thought of some pre-operative measures which have to be taken when you see a particular eye? Patient comes today for surgery and wants surgery tomorrow. Would you take him on the next day, or would you want to do something pre-operatively or understand something more or post-operatively, even if the eye looks quiet?
See, madam, what I have shown a earlier video, that was just a comedy video. That shows that we have to think out of the. We can't take it as if patient has, even if it eye is quiet, because there are more chances that patient may have submacular fibrosis, may have optic atrophy, may have posterior vitritis also. So we have to look for the anterior segment, posterior segment. We have to do the OCT, and all of the things which we have to do the BISCAN also. If we are not able to do with the able to see the posterior fundus also, we have to check the IOP also. And after checking everything, then you have to see whether when was the last attack of inflammation, that the last attack of hydrocyclitis. If it is within 15 or 20 days, then if it is a hypermetroic attack, then we can take with after giving 1 gram of methylprednisolone IV, then we can take after 24 hours. If it is before 3 months.
Yeah.
If it is before 3 months, if it is before 3 months or minimum 3 months gap should be there before the eye gets quietened, and then we can take directly onto the table.
Yes.
This is what I am following. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Going further, Mohan, I would want to have your thoughts. When would you think of giving an IVTA, or when would you think of giving an Osidex in these patients, or when would you not think of doing any of these?
Most of these patients, most of these patients I give Osidex, especially when the preoperative inflammation is very high. For example, we are dealing with patients like VKH syndrome, and I would definitely do a Phaco and Osidex. I used to give IVTA, but nowadays the Osidex is a must for all these patients, so that it can prevent the post-operative systemic steroids as well. Pre-operatively, I start them on 2 weeks prior, oral steroids 30 milligram, and then topical steroids, topical NSAIDs, then about 2 weeks, then continue that intraoperatively, post-operatively as well for about 6 to 8 weeks or even 12 weeks for that matter. And another thing is, during the on the table, it is not enough to, especially for VKH syndrome and severe inflammation like that, it's not enough that you release just the posterior synechiae. You need to introduce a rod, because these iris completely plastered to the anterior capsule all the way up to the root of the iris. Please understand that. So you need to go with the rod and go all the way to the base of the iris to release this iris completely from the capsule. So this is the one thing I want to differ from.
So Dr. Jagdish had done all the relevant steps of the surgery, but I would differ from you in one respect, Mohan. It could have been an anterior uveitis case too. So if it is an anterior uveitis case and the posterior part is not involved, if you have done a B scan and taken the history from the patient and known about the recurrences and all that, you could just treat them on topical steroid drops, and if it indicates, maybe an oral steroid drops. And IVTA and Osidex I would keep for a case which has posterior segment involvement too. Now, VKH is not all cases. In those cases, for those cases, I would use all those things. And of course, God knows, you would need even immunosuppressants for that matter for a particular patient.
Yeah, understand.
Not for all patients.
Not all patients, I understand. But please understand, when you have a complicated cataract and a severe posterior synechiae, like what he has shown, usually there is some sort of intermediate uveitis also.
Maybe an oral steroid.
It's not posterior. Yeah, intermediate uveitis component is always there.
Osidex, you have to take care of the post-op spike and so many more things. Our message is, for a case which is not posterior uveitis, we need not give them those Osidex or IVTA is what I
No,
said.
intermediate. I'm talking about intermediate uveitis. You need to give Osidex for these patients. Otherwise, you have to keep putting them on systemic steroids. You know the complications of systemic steroids. Okay, so Osidex is a must for especially intermediate. And intermediate uveitis only you can produce severe complicated cataracts like this and synechiae like this. Just simple anterior uveitis, you will not have severe synechiae and complicated cataract.
No. You could have granulomatous anterior uveitis with lot of
That's
synechiae.
very,
and all that.
yeah. The thing. Usually it's like that.
Yeah.
Dr. Chitra, I want to make a comment.
Yes.
In case of intermediate uveitis or severe anterior uveitis, in such cases, we can even go for the posterior subtenance tricot rather than going for Osidex directly.
Yeah. True. That is also there. I
That
mean,
is one of the options.
oh, yeah. Anything else with anybody?
No,
of-
I tend to agree with you, Chitra, in the sense that injection Osidex has or PST, the only disadvantage is the tendency for raise in intraocular pressure is little higher with that than with injection Osidex, but then the cost advantage is there. But many of these cases are old cases of uveitis where the eye is absolutely quiescent and there's the posterior segment is totally normal, vitreous cavity is clear. In these cases, just doing a conventional cataract surgery, as was shown, putting them on something like a stronger prednisolone for Predfort for a period of 8 to 12 weeks and slowly tapering it off, along with cycloplegic eye drops in the initial period would suffice. I would reserve any kind of extra steroids like PST or Osidex for proven cases which are recalcitrant to treatment, which have been quite active. And I would look for absence of cells, and even if there's mild flare is there, sometimes these patients have to be taken up.
I have another question to you, Dr. Jagdish. Now you have
Yes,
used
ma'am.
the exact case where you need to use iris hooks. Supposing
Okay.
the iris had been a little floppy, no, would you
Okay.
have thought of using anything else instead of iris hooks like a Malugans ring or a BX ring?
No, I'm using only iris hook only.
Yeah.
And I'm able to do the surgery in 3 millimeter pupil also.
Yes.
So if required, I'm not using any other pupil to expand other therapies. And
Yes.
add to one thing regarding the steroid.
Yes.
In most of the cases, the inflammation is subsided when you are taking on the table.
Yes.
So Osidex and other things I send to my this patient to retina surgeon, and I fully depend on the retina surgeon only. So when the anterior inflammation is subsided, then we are taking this type of cataract. So no need for the posterior segment intervention by anterior segment surgeon only.
Yes.
And second thing, usually when I take this patient, only in case where the inflammation is active, then I am giving 1 gram of IV methylprednisolone IV, and then I am taking further surgery if it is an emergency surgery. Otherwise, just by giving an NSAID drop and topical steroid 2 or 3 days prior to surgery, will lead to a successful surgery post-operative also.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Jagdish. You are most welcome to continue to stay with us for